Welcome back to BountyShell. Today, we are diving into advanced Active Directory exploitation. Active Directory is the backbone of most enterprise environments, meaning if an organization uses Windows, they likely rely on AD to manage their systems. We are going to execute a dictionary attack to secure a foothold, escalate our privileges, and ultimately extract the crown jewels, the NTDS.dit database. Let's get started with some theory. Afterwards, we will perform a demo.
We are looking at a digital representation of a network's most critical asset, the NTDS.dit file. In an Active Directory environment, this single database holds every domain username, password hash, and schema detail. This diagram illustrates how authentication changes when a system joins a domain. On the left, a standalone machine simply checks its local database to verify a user. On the right, a domain-joined machine routes all login requests over the network to be validated by a centralized server known as the domain controller. To understand how attackers compromise the structure, we will simulate an intrusion. We will trace a path originating from an initial foothold on an internal network node straight to the domain controller to extract that central database. Here is the checklist required to run this simulation. We need an established internal network foothold, a Linux-based attack host with network reachability to the target, and specific enumeration tools. Following this specific progression allows security teams to identify the subtle telemetry associated with directory service attacks and verify if their current monitoring can detect this specific pattern of movement. Step 1 is reconnaissance. Before sending any login attempts across the network, we need to know the organization's specific naming convention for user accounts. This browser mockup demonstrates one way to find that convention. By using the filetype.pdf search operator against the target company's domain, we can pull public documents and check the metadata for the author's internal username. Once we determine the structure, like a first initial followed by a last name, we can take a list of publicly known employees and map them to that exact format. In this terminal view, we are running a script that automates this process. It takes our raw list of employee names and generates hundreds of potential username variations to ensure we cover all our bases. If we were to guess passwords against this massive, unverified list, we would generate a spike in network traffic. This triggers alerts and risks locking out legitimate accounts. To maintain a low profile, we test the usernames first without submitting any passwords. We use an enumeration tool to query the domain controller and verify which accounts actually exist. Looking at the output from our enumeration tool, the invalid accounts are ignored. Only the usernames highlighted in green are confirmed to be active on the network. By refining our list, we reduce the volume of our network traffic. A broad, noisy operation is now a highly focused list of confirmed targets. Now that we have valid accounts, we can execute a dictionary attack. We will take a customized list of common passwords and test them against our confirmed users over the server message block protocol. This terminal shows the command in action. We specify the target domain controller's IP address, supply the user list with the -u flag, and attach our password file with the -p flag. On the defensive side, this activity is highly visible. The Windows Event Viewer security logs rapidly populate with a trail of failed login events, followed by a successful hit. If the target organization enforces strict access control policies, exceeding a set number of failed attempts will automatically lock those accounts, disrupting normal business operations. Because a dictionary attack prioritizes speed over stealth, the system event logs become the most reliable indicator for defenders trying to detect the intrusion. With a valid username and password recovered, we move from external network testing to establishing an interactive administrative session on the target server. This is a view of our connection tool using the Windows Remote Management Service. We now have an active PowerShell session running directly on the domain controller. Before we attempt to extract any files, we must determine our level of access. Copying protected system databases requires elevated privileges. This command output confirms our current user is a member of the local administrators group, giving us the necessary rights to interact with secure directories. We navigate directly to the system root folder. Listing the directory contents reveals our primary target, the NTDS.dit file. Standing in this directory with full administrative rights confirms that the core security architecture of the Active Directory environment has been breached. We have completed the simulation, moving from an initial presence on an internal network all the way to the central directory service database. If an attacker pulls this file off the server, they capture the cryptographic hashes for every user in the organization. This allows them to forge authentications and compromise the entire network. Securing this environment requires 3 active defenses. Administrators must enforce strict account lockout policies, configure alerts for anomalous SMB traffic, and heavily restrict which users hold local administrative rights. Organizations build resilience not by assuming their borders are secure, but by continuously mapping and testing these specific internal pathways.
First, we initiate our recon with an nmap scan to identify the domain controller services running on our target. To execute a successful dictionary attack, we need a solid word list. While you can manually create lists based on OSINT, automated tools like the Ruby-based username anarchy save significant time by converting raw names into common corporate username formats. We clone the repository and run our raw name list through the generator. This outputs a highly targeted list, allowing us to bypass the noise of a blind brute force attack. Before throwing passwords at the domain controller, we need to validate our generated usernames. Spraying invalid users is noisy and triggers unnecessary alerts. We use Kerbrute to quietly verify which accounts actually exist on the domain. With our validated list, we launch our dictionary attack using netexec over SMB, mapping against the fasttrack.txt word list. Our attack yields a valid hit. The user, J. Marston. Armed with credentials, we establish a remote PowerShell session using evil-winrm. Once inside, we must verify our context. We run net-user to check our privileges. The J. Marston account is part of the domain admins group, granting us the necessary rights to capture the NTDS.dit file. Because NTDS.dit is the primary database storing all domain password hashes, it is constantly locked by the operating system. To bypass this lock, we utilize a built-in evasion technique, creating a volume shadow copy using VSSadmin. We copy the database out of the shadow volume, and we also save a copy of the system registry hive using reg.exe. The system hive is critical here because it contains the boot key required to decrypt the NTDS database. With the files transferred back to our attack infrastructure, the extraction begins. We leverage impacket-secretstump, feeding it both the NTDS.dit file and the system hive.
This parses the database and dumps the NTLM hashes for the entire domain.
To demonstrate the risk of weak passwords, we isolate a specific administrator hash and run it through Hashcat using mode 1000. Within seconds, Hashcat cracks the NTLM hash, revealing the plain text password. While understanding the manual process is crucial for evasion, modern frameworks offer streamlined alternatives. Here, we use NetExec's built-in NTDS util module to automate the entire shadow copy and extraction process directly over SMB, pulling the hashes seamlessly. From a defensive perspective, protecting against this requires strict adherence to security baselines. Ensure account lockout policies are enforced to stop dictionary attacks, monitor for anomalous VSS admin execution, and actively audit Event ID 4776 for suspicious credential validation. That wraps up this session. Stay sharp, test ethically, and I'll see you in the next tutorial on BountyShell.